So many people see procrastination as a human failing. It's a moral problem that I have, and I'm a procrastinator. I've always been a procrastinator. If you look at my track record, you see that that's who I am. And that's just not the case. I have so many feelings about this. I just want to tell you all of them. But first of all, I want to teach you what's actually going wrong. And I'm going to use my framework of physical productivity and go through each of my 6 different types. You're going to find one of these types that resonates with you, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do to stop procrastinating if you fit into those types. Before I get too far into this, let me introduce myself. My name's Amber Dibert. I'm a high performance coach for high achievers who want to get out of their own way. I help with mindset and productivity, and I have a framework called Work Like You Work Out. And my idea is that we physically like to expend energy similar to how we mentally like to expend energy. And so you can look at your body's blueprint of how you physically like to expend energy to give you the entire map of exactly how you should be running your productivity for your workday. It's so amazing. I'm obsessed with this framework. I'm going to be talking about it nonstop. And today we're going to take it through the lens of procrastination. So people just think that procrastination is a fault in their DNA. It's just who I am. I'm a procrastinator. That's not even, it's not possible. Maybe you procrastinate in some areas, but there are other areas that you don't procrastinate at all. Do you procrastinate getting your sweats on at the end of the day? No, you go right for it. Do you procrastinate turning on your favorite show? Absolutely not. You can't say I'm a procrastinator. You don't procrastinate at every single thing. And so it's just not a fact. It's not an identity. It's not who you are. It's a situational response that comes up from time to time. And as you've heard me talk about in videos in the past, procrastination is just a symptom of overwhelm. You're feeling some kind of negative emotion and you don't want to feel that emotion. And so you procrastinate. It's a symptom. It's not a root cause of anything. It's just a symptom of what's coming up. So let me go piece by piece. I'm going to go through all 6 of my types, and I'm going to tell you if you are this type, here's how to get out of your procrastination. So these 6 types are based on how people like to move, how they like to expend physical energy. I'm going to go through each one of them. There might be a couple that resonate with you, and that's great. You can use tactics from both of them. So first, I'm going to talk about endurance athletes. Endurance athletes are people who maybe you don't run marathons, but maybe you like to go for a long 5-mile run, or maybe you like to go for a longer Peloton ride. You kind of love that lower intensity, but long duration. People like this, when they're procrastinating, the technique that is going to be most helpful for them is more planning. I used to ride 100-mile bike rides, and you can't just go get on your bike and start riding. You have to do all the upfront planning. And once you know what the plan is, what are you going to wear? What are you going to do with your jacket if you get too hot? Where are you going to refill your water bottle? What are you going to do if you get a flat tire? What's the route that you're going on? Once all those questions are answered and you've got the full plan, then all you have to do is execute. So if you're an endurance athlete, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to sit down and write out the entire plan. Once you have the plan, it's going to be so much easier for you to get into that flow state. And then tip number 2 is you need deep work. You need spaciousness to be able to get into that deep work state and get things done. So number 1, you're going to need a plan of what you're going to do. And once that plan is built out, try to find some space where you're not going to be distracted. Turn on Do Not Disturb, turn off your Slack messages, get into that flow state, and you're going to be able to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Okay, let's move on to group number 2. Group number 2, I think of as the high intensity athletes. These are people who are doing maybe CrossFit or high intensity interval training or circuit training. This is like when I think about these people, it's short burst of high intensity. And when I think about this group, what's going wrong for them most of the time is that they're expecting themselves to be more of an endurance athlete and to work for a longer period of time. What I find with this group is that they always fall short whenever they expect themselves to be fully focused for 8 to 12 hours a day and be productive and completely locked in for that entire period of time. These people work so much better in short, really intense bursts with rest afterwards. So if you find yourself procrastinating and you feel like you fit in this category, the technique that I want you to try is giving yourself those short bursts. It's not that I'm going to crush all 8 hours of today. It's that I'm going to crush the next half an hour, or I'm going to crush the next 45 minutes. We're doing short, intense bursts. It's going to be helpful for you to have some sort of a plan of what you want to get done, maybe a list that you can follow. It doesn't have to be the entire plan, but at least the beginning parts of that plan. And then I want you to sit down and focus. And if you're having a hard time getting yourself to start with that sitting down, I want you to set a timer. I don't care what you set the timer for. If you're having a really hard time, set the timer for 2 minutes. I'm just focusing on this for the next 2 minutes. If you're doing okay, then you can kind of do a Pomodoro and set a timer for 20 to 25 minutes and focus for that period of time. But whatever it is, you need to get yourself in that mindset of I can do anything for 30 seconds. Same thing that you do when you're doing your high intensity interval training. I want you to sit and say, all I have to do is sit and focus and get this done for the next 30 minutes. And then I get to take a break. I get to relax till my heart rate goes down, till I'm calm. And then I'll pick up again once I'm fully recovered. So I want you to have that mentality. And the 2 ways you can do it is shorten the window. We're not talking about 8 hours of focus. We're not talking about 2 hours of focus. We're not doing deep work like our endurance athletes that we just heard about. We're focusing on a short window of high intensity and knocking it out. And if you're having a hard time getting yourself started, then set a timer. Maybe it's a 25-minute timer. Maybe it's a 2-minute timer. Just to say, I'm just going to focus for 2 minutes. Spoiler alert, inevitably, if you focus for 2 minutes, you're into it. And okay, well, I'm in it. I'm just going to keep going. So 2 minutes is fine. And put yourself there and get the work done. Okay, let's move on to group number 3. Group number 3, I put as the strength trainers. These are the lifting heavy, very methodical, very thoughtful about the different body parts that they're working out. They have a plan. It's kind of set. If you identify as a strength trainer and you're having a hard time and you're procrastinating, here's what I want you to try. I'm going to tell you, somebody came to my Work Like You Work Out workshop that I was running a while ago. I might bring them back. Drop a comment below if you want to bring this workshop back so I can teach you all about this. And I taught this idea of if you're a strength trainer, you do really well working in themes. So a lot of strength trainers, and everyone does a little bit differently. That's fine. But it'll be like Wednesday is back day. Tuesday is arm day. Thursday is shoulder day. I don't know why I'm going in a weird order with my days, but you get the idea. Every day has a theme. And so you wake up and you know, oh, today's Tuesday. Today is back. And I know exactly the workouts I'm going to do. I want you to try the same thing for your weekday. So Seth came to my workshop and I gave this idea of having a set of themes for each day. And a few weeks later, Seth emailed me and said, hey, I'm so sorry, but can I get on a call with you? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And Seth came to the call and I just wanted to tell you this in person. I didn't want to send you an email. Seth said, ever since you gave me that advice to have themes for my day, I'm 70% less stressed at work. And it's probably closer to 80, but I didn't want to over exaggerate it. I was like, Seth, let's just go with 80% less stress. Sounds amazing. All Seth did is theme his days. He themed his day so that he knew what to focus on each day. And then it relieved all the stress because he knew there was a space for everything that needed to happen. Like on Tuesday, he'd be stressing about client outreach because I know Thursday's the day for that. And so Thursday would come along, he'd get all his client outreach done and it was done. And he wouldn't have to worry about it again till the next Thursday. So if you're more of a strength training type, I want you to try this idea. I want you to set themes for your day. This is how your brain knows what to get done. And you might struggle with trying to do a little bit of everything every day, unless you're the kind of athlete who you kind of do a full body workout every single day. Then maybe you do want a little piece of everything. But I want you to try that if you are a strength trainer. Okay, let's go to group number 4. Group number 4, I identify as the team people. These are the people who work out with other people. Maybe you go to a soccer practice every week. Maybe you do pick up basketball. Maybe you only do group classes. Maybe you do pickleball because you're meeting up with your best friends. But you are the kind of person who exercises when there are other people around. For you, it's going to be really important when you're procrastinating to get other people around you when you're doing your work. So maybe you go to a coffee shop and there are other people around and you kind of have this thought of we're all in this together. We're all focused on this. We're all doing this right now. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe you go to a coffee shop and you're like, all these freaking college students are not paying attention at all. So maybe doesn't resonate. That's okay. Another option you can do is virtual co-working. So I'll find a peer and I'll say, hey, can we block out an hour this week? I've got a lot of work I need to do. And I need an ADHD, we call this a body double. It's really helpful to have another body there that's doing it at the same time. And it kind of holds you accountable. And so I'll find a peer who's in some other part of the world. We'll get on a Zoom for an hour. We'll say hello and then we'll mute ourselves and go to work. And I get so much done in that hour than I can get done in an entire week. Just having someone else body doubling with me and feeling like we're in this together, it's incredible what I'm able to do. If you have the option to go into your office, that's going to be really helpful for you. If you have the option to go into co-working space, that's going to be really helpful for you. But the key is you can even have your partner or somebody else in your house come sit next to you and be working on their laptop while you're working. The key for you is having other people around. So if you're having a hard time, find somebody else to work with, even block it off for an hour. It can be a colleague, a peer, whoever. That's going to be wildly helpful for you. Okay, let's move on to group number 5. This group is cringing right now if they just heard group number 4, because this group is the solo athletes. This is the group who just work out by themselves. They can't imagine working out with somebody else because it erodes their sense of calm and peace that they get from being by themselves, from being with their thoughts, from not having interruptions and not having anybody else around to worry about. So do not take the advice for group number 4 because that's not the advice for you, and that's okay. For group number 5, the solo athletes, I want you to find space to be by yourself. If you're working in an open office environment, that is the worst possible thing. So maybe you book a phone booth for yourself. Maybe you book a conference room for yourself. Maybe you find a space that's on a different floor and it's kind of far away. It's like in the couches somewhere. Maybe you're working from home and you even find a different space within your home that feels like a new space for you. I want you to go and find a space that's just for you. Ideally, you have over-the-ear headphones on with noise canceling or white noise or some kind of beats. I find it really helpful to listen to Hans Zimmer music. So I listen to the Inception soundtrack. I listen to, the song is called Cornfields. I listen to that soundtrack, but listening to Hans Zimmer, for whatever reason, it really gets me going. Some people listen to binaural beats, but I want you to have space by yourself where there's nobody in your peripheral vision, nobody in your straightforward vision. You can just get in this sound space by yourself and be completely zoned out. If you're a solo athlete, you need that space to be able to get work done. Okay, before we get on to number 6, I just want to give a shout out. I'm going to give all of these techniques in my newsletter. Make sure you're on that list. It's going to be a written example for you that you can plug in and you can use. And also, if you want to go deeper on this, you can go take the quiz on my website. Go to mentalmastery.com/quiz. You click 3 buttons and you drop your email and it sends you a follow-up of everything that we've talked about. And it gives you advice specific for you and whichever one of these 6 types you're in. If you're not really sure which of these 6 types you're in, that would be a great place to start. It's literally 3 clicks, drop your email, and you get the results. Okay, let's get to group number 6. Group number 6 is the I'm a mix or the cross trainers group. This is the group that says, I don't really fit into any one of those categories. I'm a little bit of both. Okay, what I know about you is that if you're a little bit of both of all of these or some of these, that you need a lot of variety. You don't like to be boxed in. You don't like to have people tell you exactly what to be or who to be. Sometimes you want to do Peloton. Other times you want to play pickleball. Other times you want to be by yourself. Other times you want to swim. Sometimes it's really intense, high intensity, and other times it's kind of more of endurance. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. These people are like, oh no, I don't fit into one of the types. Don't worry. There's a type just for you. And also, if you're the kind of person that needs a lot of variety, my guess is you probably have ADHD because that is a key feature of those of us who have ADHD. We need a lot of variety. We need a lot of novelty. So if you are one of these people, that you are a mix of a bunch of these different types, that is so good to know. If you're procrastinating, it might be that you might not have enough variety in your day. Maybe you do need to go sit in a different location. Maybe you do need to body double with somebody. Maybe you do need to work by yourself. You need to change it up and give yourself variety so that it feels new and novel. Go sit in a coffee shop for a while, and that's going to unlock a new level of motivation and inspiration for you. If you are a variety person, I want you to pick just a couple tactics that I've talked about from the other situations that resonate with you and try them. Give yourself the variety. One key thing for you is letting yourself be different. That's actually going to unlock more productivity than anything else will for you. You're not the kind of person that's really great with a structure and a super rigid routine, but you will do so well if you have a lot more variety. Okay, I hope this was super helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this, and go check out the quiz at mentalmastery.com/quiz. You'll get specific advice just for you, and then I'll send you an email every few days. I think there's probably like a sequence of 5 that are specific to your type and give you advice exactly on what to do for your situation. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.